Welcome back to another video, and today we got our Week 16 NFL game predictions, and we got 16 games this week once again. We got some weird Saturday games. So yeah, we're just how we usually do this. We're going to look at each game, predict it. We'll take a look at the standings just off of me and my friends right before we get into our predictions, and then kind of give our thoughts on each game, take a look at everyone's picks. If you're new around here, make sure you subscribe. Not only do we do these videos every single Wednesday, but we do college basketball Power 40 rankings every Monday, college football videos, usually top 25 rankings, but right now we're doing our playoff picks every Tuesday. Make sure you check that out, by the way. I just dropped that video yesterday. And then NBA videos every Thursday, as well as MLB content when that season is going. So if any of that interests you, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're trying to hit 200 subscribers here soon. Would be a great Christmas present to achieve that. So yeah, just wanted to throw that out there real quick. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into the standings. So I'm still in first. I have a 5-game lead over second still. Me and Matthew actually both went 14-2 last week. Pretty good weeks for the both of us. I figured when I was checking all these picks from last week, I saw 14-2 for me. I was like, all right, maybe I have expanded my lead here a little bit on second, but nope. We finished with the same record. He's getting real close. I mean, this lead was, I believe, almost 8 or 9 games. He's got it down to 5, so hopefully we can maintain first here, closing out on the end of the regular season. Connor and Ben still battling it out there for third as well. But moving on into the Thursday night game, it's going to be the Denver Broncos taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. And this is a very important game for playoff seeding because both these teams, I believe right now, are in the playoff field. Let me just make sure of this real quick. Yeah, the Broncos currently hold the 6 seed. The Chargers currently hold the 7 seed. So the winner of this game likely gets, either bumped up or bumped down. And yeah, if you're the Chargers, you need to win this game more than the Broncos. The Broncos have a game lead on the Chargers. There's teams like the Dolphins, Colts, Bengals still alive for the playoffs here in the AFC. So if you're the Chargers, this is a pretty important game. I mean, it's still the same thing goes with the Broncos. You obviously would rather have the 6 seed than the 7 seed. But with that being said, I'm going to take the home team. I think it's going to be a very low-scoring defensive game. I think both these teams are going to try to run the ball. In that environment, I trust the Chargers a little bit more. I think Herbert, I believe he's going to be healthy if he plays. I like the home team here at, in prime time. They're favored by 3 points. I'll take the Chargers here, but this one could definitely go either way. Texans versus Chiefs, a very exciting Saturday game. We got 2 Saturday games this week, kind of interesting there. An AFC battle against two division winners, the AFC South division leader versus the Kansas City Chiefs, who are the 1 seed in the AFC right now. Now this game has a lot on the line. In general, I mean, two top tier teams. I mean, if the Chiefs drop this one, there's a chance the Bills could slip up into that 1 seed. The Bills are 2 games behind the Chiefs, so it would be kind of a long shot. But the story here, Mahomes, high ankle sprain, will he play? As of right now, what I'm seeing is that he will play. If Mahomes does play, I'm going to take the Chiefs. But if Mahomes is out, I'm going to go ahead and go over to the Texans. But as of right now, I think Mahomes is playing. I'm going to trust the Chiefs in Arrowhead here. They're favored by 3. Again, I think this one could be a very low-scoring game. But I am going to go ahead and take the Chiefs. Again, though, if Mahomes misses this game, I'll go ahead and switch on over to the Texans. Because, the Texans aren't a bad team whatsoever. They're a very solid team, 9-5. And I think Mahomes is that much of a difference maker. The other Saturday game, an AFC North battle. This is a huge game. 10-4. The 10-4 Steelers go to play the 9-5 Ravens. The winner of this game is going to be put in a prime position to win this division and likely get the 3 seed here in the AFC. Maybe the 4 seed. We'll see. But yeah, whenever these two teams play, you know it's going to be a good physical game. These two teams hate each other. I was surprised the Ravens favored by 6.5. That's a lot. I mean, it's a lot more than I thought it would be. I am going to take the Ravens at home. I believe the Steelers won this game the first time around. Um, I mean, the Steelers just came off a loss against the Eagles. I think the Ravens are overall the better team. I think the Steelers, their record is a bit inflated compared to how good they truly are. I'm gonna take the Ravens at home. I think they can get enough going offensively with Lamar, Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, Bateman just came off a really good game. Mark Andrews continues to score touchdowns for them. I mean, yeah, I think this Ravens offense is just too good. I think the Steelers are going to have troubles to keep up. But I do think they'll slow them down there on, defensively. I just think the Ravens are the better team, and they get it at home too. Moving on into these Sunday games, though, starting off with a bit of a stinker. The Giants take on the Falcons. The 2-12 Giants, by the way, who just don't even have a quarterback at this point. I mean, the Giants are an absolute dumpster fire. They're projecting out to be the worst team in the NFL moving forward. They're 2-12. I believe they hold the number one pick as of right now. The Falcons at 7-7, still trying to win the division. I believe the Bucks are one game ahead of them. Yes, the Falcons trying to get into the playoffs. I think this is a pretty clear pick here to take the Falcons. The interesting thing, the Falcons have officially benched Kirk Cousins. I kind of saw this coming. There was a lot of talk about this coming in to last week. The Falcons then barely beat the Raiders. I think that was enough. I would agree with this. They bring in Michael Penix. He's going to make his first career start. And what a better, there's not a better game to do it in than against the Giants. So we'll see how Penix plays, but I do think he'll do enough to win this game. The Giants are just an absolute dumpster fire. Besides Malik Neighbors, but yeah, everything else is terrible. The Falcons are playing for something. I'll take Atlanta at home. The Lions versus the Bears. The Lions, unfortunate news, David Montgomery out for the season. That's a huge blow for them. They've also been dealing with a lot of injuries defensively. Whether that's on the line in the secondary, they've had a lot. Even linebackers as well. Really, just everywhere on the defense. With all that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and still take the Lions. The Bears tend to always play the Lions close. Maybe they can do something here. It's in Soldier Field, but the Lions are 12-2. They just came off a loss after a 11-game win streak. Yeah, I think the Lions are going to be just fine. I think they'll be able to win this game over Chicago. I mean, you saw the Bears last week, just an absolute catastrophe against the Vikings on Monday night. I think the Lions are better than the Vikings, so by that logic, I'll go ahead and take the Lions, even with the amount of injuries they're going through. I just think, I think the Lions have a pretty clear bounce back game here against the Bears. The Browns versus Bengals seems like another pretty easy one. The Bengals still trying to sneak their way, kind of backdoor their way in the playoffs. It is technically possible. I'll take the Bengals. I think they're a very good team. They're definitely not a 6-8 level team. I mean, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, we've seen what they've done all year. Chase Brown even is getting involved. They have T. Higgins, one of the best offenses in the league. Definitely top 5. The problem with the Bengals, their defense is probably the worst in the league, so there is that. But the Browns' offense doesn't, concern me whatsoever. The Browns' offense is probably a bottom 5 offense in the league. So I like the Bengals' chances here. I don't think the Browns will be able to keep up whatsoever against this high-powered Cincy offense. Give me the Bengals at home. The Titans versus Colts, an AFC South matchup here. Will Levis has officially been benched for Mason Rudolph, so Mason Rudolph will be starting this game. I think the Colts, kind of similar with the Bengals and Browns, they're playing for something. They're still trying to sneak into the playoffs. I think they get a win here at home. They're favored by 3.5. I would expect this to be somewhat of a close game, kind of a low-scoring, ugly game. But I'll take the Colts. I mean, they've got a lot of talent over there, and they're not a terrible team. I mean, 6-8 compared to 3-11. I think the Titans want to lose this game because you got to improve that draft pick. I think the Colts, with them still trying to sneak their way in the playoffs. I think they go out and play play pretty strong and get a win here at home. The Rams versus Jets. Kind of weird to see two guys on the Jets. I didn't expect this whatsoever. I mean, have we not been seeing what the Rams have been doing the past couple weeks? I mean, they're 8-6. I believe they've won 7 of their last 9. They've won 3 in a row. They won 4 of their last 5. Yes, 7 of their last 9. I mean, the Rams are one of the hottest teams, probably the hottest team in the NFL right now. I mean, they're coming off wins over the back-to-back wins over the Bills and the Niners. They've had a long time to rest coming off the Thursday night game. The Rams only favored by 3. Maybe there's something I don't get here. I mean, I know the Jets did look pretty solid last week, but then again, they only beat the Jaguars by 7 points. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to take the Rams, but maybe there's something I'm missing in this game. I don't know. With the way Stafford, Puka, Kyron, Cooper Kupp, I mean, this offense is doing wonders. We just saw them, like I said, win in a shootout against the Bills. The Bills just beat the Lions last week. So the Rams, I think, are hot right now, getting hot at the right time. I think they go into New York and get a much-needed win here. And let's look at the NFC playoff picture really quick. The Rams are currently the 4 seed because they are leading the division. So this is every game moving forward is a must-win game. The Seahawks are tied with them, both at 8-6. So we'll see how this plays out. But I do expect the Rams to win this game. The Eagles versus Commanders. This is a huge game again. I mean, a 12-2 team versus a 9-5 team. Both these teams in the playoff race right now. Now, if the Commanders lose this game, there's a chance they get booted out of the playoff picture because they're sitting at 9-5 right now. The Seahawks are 1 game out at 8-6. You also have the Falcons and Cardinals at 7-7. And I mean, you still got the Niners, Cowboys still alive at 6-8 technically. I mean, I know it's a long shot. But yeah, I mean, this is a huge game for the Commanders. Like I said, if they lose this one, they might be bumped out of the playoff picture. The Eagles are still trying to get that 1 seed over the Lions. Both them and the Lions are 12-2. The Eagles just blew out the Steelers. With the way the Eagles are playing, you could make the argument the Eagles are playing like a top 3 team in the NFL right now. I'm going to take the Eagles. I just trust them overall more. I mean, the offense is just firing on all cylinders. You got Saquon, who likely will not win the MVP anymore, but he's up there in conversations. Jalen Hurts is having a great season. This Eagles defense has really put it all together. One of the better defenses in the league. I like the Eagles here over the Commanders. I think they can slow down Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin as well. The Cardinals versus Panthers, kind of been seeing these meaningful games. This is one where it's just, I mean, it's a pretty clear pick. I actually don't hate the Panthers pick here just because the Panthers have been looking a little bit better recently. They get it at home. But the Cardinals are still trying to get into the playoffs. Like I said, they're still trying to win their division. They're only a game back, so it's definitely doable. But at 7-7, I'm going to take them over the 3-11 Panthers. Just playing for more, in my opinion. The Vikings versus Seahawks. This is a huge game. Once again, NFC battle here. The Vikings are currently tied with the Lions for the lead in the NFC North. The Vikings have officially clinched a playoff berth at this point. And when looking at the Vikings, I mean, with a win and a Lions loss, are they the 1 seed? I mean, they're the 5 seed right now. They got a 2-game lead over the 6 seed in the Packers, by the way. The Seahawks are tied right now with the Rams for the NFC West title. The Rams actually have the tiebreaker. So the Seahawks at 8-6 are on the outside looking in. They're the 8th seed right now. So like I said, this is a huge game for both these teams. The Vikings trying to get the 1 seed. The Seahawks trying to win that division. Or maybe sneak in as the 7 seed. I actually don't mind the Seahawks pick here at home. just because the Vikings, I feel like they're just sneaking by. I mean, I know their defense has been elite. I know they've looked really good, but I mean, I don't know. I think I'm gonna take the Vikings. It's the safe pick. Everybody else is on the Vikings, so I'm gonna take the Vikings just because the defense looks so solid. I believe Geno Smith might not play for this game, so if it is Sam Howell, that makes my life a whole lot easier in taking the Vikings. If Geno plays, I could very much see the Seahawks winning this game, though. Let's look at the spread. The Vikings only favored by 3, so maybe that does mean Geno's playing. Um, Either way, I'd probably take the Vikings, but I could definitely see the Seahawks winning if Geno does suit up and play. We're not going to talk about this one. The Bills are 14-point favorites. They're trying to get the 1 seed in the AFC. I know they're 2 games back at the Chiefs right now, but they did just beat the Lions and kind of dominated them. So I'll take them over the Patriots there, no questions asked. The toilet bowl of the week: 3-11 Jacksonville going to 2-12 Vegas. I mean, this game really is just irrelevant. The over/under is 39.5. I believe that's the lowest of the week. This game is just going to be an absolute terrible showing. The Raiders favored by 1 point. With who's even starting for the Raiders? I mean, is it Desmond Ridder? Is that who they got out there? I mean, I'm gonna take the Jaguars. I mean, the Jaguars at least look somewhat solid offensively, but the Raiders haven't scored over 20 points in 6 weeks. I think the Jaguars are a little bit more complete offensively. They did just lose Evan Ingram for the season, but even with that, I mean, the Raiders can't even. The Raiders can't do anything. I could see it going either way. Like I said, I mean, the Raiders do have it at home. They're 1-point favorites, which essentially means it's a pick'em game. But I'll take Jacksonville, I guess. The Niners versus Dolphins. The loser of this game is essentially eliminated from the playoffs. They might actually officially be eliminated from the playoffs. If not officially, then it's a very low chance they'd find a way to get in. Both these teams are still still in the race. A bit of a long shot for both of them, but again, technically it's still possible. In this game, though, I'm going to side with the home team. I'm going to take the Dolphins. The Dolphins are the 1.5-point favorites. It's very close. But the Niners are just so injured. No more CMC. No more Jordan Mason. Brandon Ayuk's been out. I know that's been for a long time, but Debo just doesn't look the same. He's dropping the ball. The only saving grace here for the Niners is George Kittle, who continues to be consistent. But with the Dolphins, I mean, you have all these playmakers. I know they didn't look great against Houston last week, but Houston is a very good defense. I'm going to take the Dolphins at home. I think they have a bounce-back game. They were getting a little bit. Before last week, they had won 4 of their last 5. I think the Dolphins can kind of find some of that momentum. The Dolphins actually have a real chance to finish 9-8. Their remaining schedule is against the Niners, the Browns, and the Jets. So there's technically a chance if they win out, go 9-8. The Dolphins could backdoor their way into the playoff. We will see. I mean, they're going to need to win this week first, and this is a very tough game. I'm going to take the Dolphins, though. I'm going to trust them at home. The Sunday night game, Tampa versus Dallas. Cooper Rush actually doesn't look horrible. I mean, obviously you'd rather have Dak Prescott in, but they just put up 30 points. Granted, it was against the Panthers. Speaking of putting up a lot of points, the Buccaneers went up against the Chargers, who I believe was a top 10 defense in the league. They put up 40 points and won by 23 points against a team that is currently in the playoffs. So, with all that being said, it is in Dallas, but I don't think it matters. I'm going to take the Buccaneers. They're playing with some fire right now. They have a 1-game lead over the Falcons for the NFC South division title as of right now. I mentioned that a little bit earlier. I think they get a big win and keep their lead there over Atlanta. They're still playing for something. I guess the Cowboys are too, because they could technically still get in the playoffs, but it is pretty unrealistic. I actually don't hate the Cowboys pick here, but I'm gonna go ahead and take the 4-point favorite. I think the Bucs offense is much more trustworthy than Dallas is. So give me Baker Mayfield. And then the Monday night game, the 5-9 Saints take on the 10-4 Packers. Kind of a disappointing primetime game here. I don't know. I mean, maybe if both these teams, or if the Saints were healthier, it would be interesting. I'll take the Packers. I think their defense has a big day. I just think the Packers are in for a big showing here, offensively, defensively, really just everywhere. I mean, the Saints, they had Spencer Rattler in. They also put in Jake Hayner. I don't even know what's going on. Kamara might be out as well. So if Kamara's out, you have no Derek Carr, no Kamara, no Chris Olave, no Rashid Shaheed, no Taysom Hill. So essentially the entire offense. Yeah. With that being said, I'll take the Packers. Even if the Saints were fully healthy, I'd still take the Packers. And the fact that the Saints have injuries at pretty much every position on offense, yeah, I'll take the Packers. It's also in Lambeau. I mean, this is going to be an absolute blowout. The Packers are favored by 14.5. That is the biggest spread of the week. So yeah, go ahead and give me Green Bay. But that is going to do it for the Week 16 NFL game predictions. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure you go down there, leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Like I said, trying to hit 200 subscribers here soon. Not only do we do NFL content every Wednesday, but college basketball every Monday, college football every Tuesday, NBA every Thursday, as well as MLB content. If any of that interests you, make sure you turn on the noties, hit that subscribe button. Like this video if you enjoyed. Comment down below what you agree, what you disagree. Love to debate down there. Most recent videos popping up on the screen right now. Make sure you go check those out. With all that being said, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys tomorrow with another episode of NBA Playoff Watch.